Hello, and welcome back to Dice Dropping Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game, The Chronicles of House Weirlight. Hello, House Weirlight.
Hello,
Hello.
Tawny.
Hello.
We're back again, still at the setting of the wedding of the heir of Lord Henric, Weirlight to his blushing bride, Ashella Ashford, of course, of the Ashfords.
Not of the
and-
city of Ashford.
Yes,
no.
the very same. And we are currently, last time a sort of mystery unraveled after the knights or Nymora had copulations with one of the most deranged and murderous men in all of Westeros and his current lover. She found herself locked in a bloody dress that was not hers in a box.
Also not hers.
And then later, upon finding the said deranged man, Prince Oberyn Martell, and his lover, both poisoned heavily by a very rare, unique mixed poison, one you don't just buy from a market and then use. Someone that would have to be quite knowledgeable in how to use it. And they were dying, not quite dead yet. However, there definitely will be some permanent damage done to them. But the mystery afoot, the currently on vacation Seneschal, the steward, Clarissa, who is really just here as a guest, immediately has, I guess, taken the case. And is currently trying to figure out who did the poisoning, what is going on before any further events in the party are noted. Besides that, I think we also discovered that the heir, Henric, he woke rather feeling better than he's ever felt before.
Gosh, I wonder why.
He felt stronger, almost taller, more virile in general. No beard.
No beard.
Still no beard.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Yeah. Nope. Nothing.
Level.
Not. I didn't roll high enough. Sorry.
Yeah. Listen. Well, if you had gone for the 5th tier, which you had rolled high enough to get, maybe there would have been a beard.
Yeah.
But we'll never know. And seemingly, for the first person ever to sort of get the terror steed that is Endeavor to back down. Meanwhile, while others ogled at Henric's horsemanship prowess, Mariella, the lady and twin of the blushing groom, had to deal with kind of her own pickle. I'm sure a problem that many young lady of Westeros kind of wish they had, which too many of these boys want to marry me. What are you gonna do?
It's such a burden. It's
such
a burden.
Weirlights make beautiful children.
They make beautiful
And
children.
beautiful, intelligent children.
But Mariella did manage to talk down the group and sort of declare her intention for one Garland Tyrell, second son of the Tyrell dynasty. Many believe might become the true heir, or at least a more significant ruling head than most second sons would be in Highgarden. So many twists, many turns, many things like going about, many different plots to be had. The Lord and Lady Weirlight are basically just entertaining their guests to the highest degree, while Lady Vivienne is attempting to find out as much dirt and information as possible. But due to the lavish affair. Most of her spies are a little run ragged, also doing their sort of sub duties of just managing the party. Poor Orton is very overworked, but he is doing his darndest. But I believe the only the next spot that are investigators, which I believe Thorsten, you are with your sister. As we discovered, the lover of Prince Oberyn Martell is in fact, was it? Oh my God, Camilla? That's the name? Yeah,
that sounds correct.
Yeah, Camilla Weirlight, the sort of estranged, long lost elder sister, who left very early on in Tedric and Thorsten's life. Tedric was she basically left just before Vivian and Tedric were married. So Vivian only had very momentary interactions with her to the point where she could recognize her, but that's little else. Let's see here. And I believe the next bit of info that you had gotten that I believe Clarissa is possibly going to look into is one of Camilla's sons are here. A very, very illegitimate son, as all of Camilla's children, of which apparently she has multiple, are rather illegitimate. Now, a question: does anyone remember the name of the illegitimate son?
Crispin.
What was that?
Crispin.
That's correct. That is correct. Chris. Like,
ding ding ding.
However, it has not been mentioned what his surname is, which is basically would give us a hint of where she was when she conceived.
Sands
him.
of flowers.
Yeah, I mean, Camilla's kind of been a lot of places, so it could be several.
True.
It's still way up in the air.
But what would piss off her father more?
I mean, sand.
No.
Just no.
No. Yeah. So we have Mysteries Abound. I believe Sir Nymora is currently just sort of I think both Thorsten and Nymora, you're staying with the injured parties, yes?
Correct.
Thorsten to tend them, and Nymora in case someone comes back, because Thorsten could not fight off a toddler with
the butter knife?
deadly intent.
I believe the reason that I stayed is because Oberyn is out of his gourd on drugs.
Yeah,
right now.
That too.
And flipped me bodily.
Yeah.
And Thorsten is incapable of defending himself.
To a very large degree, yes.
I think
it's not that I'm incapable of defending myself. I can perfectly defend myself. I'm just bad at it.
Whoever poisoned Oberyn Martell severely underestimated his tolerance for intoxicants.
Oh, no. I will actually say, Lady Vivienne, that is an excellent point. Anyone who knows any intimate details about Lord Oberyn would know that he is a poisoner of quite some secret renown. Which anyone, I mean, Thorsten, I think we've all seen it from Thorsten. Anyone who knows anything about chemicals or creating things, people often test low doses on themselves. Like Thorsten does constantly. It is, in fact, Lord Oberyn Martell is quite adept at shrugging off even very lethal doses of many poisons due to his developed tolerance for them. So, however, this was a large enough dose to definitely put him in serious danger. However, yeah, so either this poisoner obviously didn't count on any form of like medical help, because as we kind of saw, the TN, the target number, to aid each of the two poisoned was quite different from one another. To aid Oberyn was very low, actually. In fact, really just kind of any maester helping Oberyn could most likely help him survive. However, Camilla, only someone really of Thorsten or equivalent skill probably could have saved her. As Camilla,
Someone equivalent
strangely or not, is not really good at, does not really poison herself generally. Weird.
Because alcohol doesn't count.
I mean, it does actually in this game.
It does do a degree.
In the list of poisons, alcohol is one of them.
All right, so alcohol poisoning, Camilla.
Yeah.
That's
Good
probably
resistance.
the only one, or one of the few.
If she was poisoned by alcohol, she would have been fine.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I digress.
Mysteries afoot, funds abound, and the welcome feast has begun. Everyone is beginning to take their seats. The talking is slowly coming down. Lots of people are engaging. And Lord Tedric, just moments ago, you shook hands with Benedict, I think Lord of High Ground, and of course, head of House Primaris, father to Scarlet and Layden. He was happy to see you. He also immediately, to your, I think, great delight, demanded you tell him about the battle, essentially. Because Benedict, like you, have won accolades in war, even though you guys kind of fought on definitely the opposite sides of that war. The Primarises are kind of famous because the Westerling houses, most of them did not side with Robert until basically the end of the war, all kind of listening to the Tywin Lannister sort of decree. The Primarises, however, very different, sided with the rebellion basically a few months after it started. They were at a lot of key battles, but they were never a part of the Reach invasion. They were only ever part of basically resisting the invasions into the Riverlands.
See, that's the thing. When two people fight, two men generally fight, afterwards they tend to be buddies.
It does happen often. And Lord Benedict definitely is seemingly interested in talking about that. And of course, Lady Vivian, you were greeted by your very good friend and fellow, what would be the term, co-conspirator of Lady Delilah Primaris.
Cabal mate.
Cabalkin.
Yeah. That one's good. Like that.
Yeah. But yeah, they graded you officially, seeing as they said they came in with quite a large party. And as people are beginning to sit down, everyone's kind of sitting at their proper place. Tedric, you begin to your servant holds your chair out for you to be sit at the head of the table, as you are the hosting father, father of the groom, but it is also your hall, which is why you're sat at the head. That's just tradition. On your right is your wife, and all along your right is essentially your side of the family, and on your left is, of course, Lord Ashford and all of the Ashfords, kind of like side of the family and their people, and the sides are like what guests are which. Now, of course, normally your hall is sort of very it's wide, but much longer than it is wide, and you are generally sat at like this sort of dynamic head area. But due to the sheer amount of guests, that has sort of been adjusted. You are now more in the dead center on the side wall. It's been very well decorated, and you're sat at a head table there, and just tons of wide tables are filling the area. Basically, most people we've met are mostly many of them are on your side. However, some of the Fossaways and more prominent Reach houses seem to be sitting on the Ashford side. not necessarily stating that they like the Ashfords more than you. It's just more like, who are you sort of the guests of?
Yeah.
And
well, let's be real here. They're all my guests.
They are, Tedric. They are all your guests, as this is your house.
We just have a more multicultural side on our side.
Little bit. I would say a tad. Just a tad. However, because I would say, Vivian, you and Lord Ashford, and also that the wedding planner and then like Ashful and Henric actually worked out which Reach houses would be represented on which side, and many of them are on the Ashford side due to the amount of other houses.
A lot of minor houses among them.
Essentially. Because you want both sides to look full. You don't want like a tip.
No one to get insulted by the perimeter of houses. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
However, as you sit there, something I think probably Vivian immediately notices, like Oberyn Martell isn't here because he's supposed to sit at your table because he's the prince of he's a prince, but he's not here. Which he was here. You saw him, so that's weird. However, that is probably very quickly displayed because before everyone fully sits down, you hear a voice kind of call out to you a bit from behind you, and as you look, I think you just hear, "Girl, get over here."
Who the fuck is calling me girl?
It's your mom.
Fuck in the seven hells. Yeah.
The only person who can get away with calling you
right?
girl.
Had to happen at some point,
Not incorrect. Yeah, I'll go over to my mother.
Yeah, she looks extravagant.
Of course.
She has this kind of extravagant gilded dress, and the main thing that looks extravagant is she has so much gold in her hair that she is propped up she's basically propped up like these two like side bars that have these like chains in between them that hold the symbols of the seven, all like encrusted with jewels. You've never seen her wear that, like, ever.
Ooh, this is new.
Yeah, usually she covers her head with with a habit, but no habit today.
Oh, wow. Mother, you're showing so much extra skin. What's the occasion?
She goes, "The marriage of my first grandchild." And she kind of comes over to you and she gives you a hug, which she's never initiated a hug with you.
Okay.
Like, ever.
Yep, because we're in front of people, I'll hug her back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And she holds you back, still holding like your waist, because you are taller than your mother. Because she is just a squat woman. You could literally rest, even though Vivian, you could literally rest your chin on the top of your mother's head. And she holds you by like your hands and waist and kind of looks up at you. And there's this look on her face that you don't know if you've ever seen. She looks like slightly teary-eyed and proud and happy.
Mother, are you ill?
She goes, "No, Vivian, you just look so radiant, like the mother herself."
How much communion have you had?
7 children.
Ah, that's the one.
Like 7 children. And the first one is getting married. You are just, like I always say, I'm so proud of you. She's never said that.
Yeah, I think I cackle out loud. Just excuse me, not appropriate. Well, thank you, Mother. Are you enjoying yourself?
I love the presentation. It's so much better than that birthday celebration. She's just like
Mm.
looking around.
Well, we have a new planner. We wanted to go all out to showcase Henric's marriage. So we went above and beyond.
As you should. As you should. And she just kind of looks up to you and goes, it looks like she's like about to say something and then goes, well, can't wait to taste this dinner. This is going to be
No.
divine.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Mother? You're never one at a loss for words.
Yeah, so I would like you to make a roll.
Of course.
Now, normally I would say like persuasion charm, but that was a little bitey.
This is my mother. I don't think I've ever used charm on my mother ever.
Yeah, that was a little bitey to me.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say just straight persuasion.
Could it
do
be
you have-
convince? Go ahead.
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Okay.
You're
What
not
were you
really
gonna
being
ask?
direct with her.
Mhm. What you were gonna say something before I interrupted.
I think just persuasion.
Okay. Here we go. 21.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
mhm.
It's like two degrees of success. One,
Did
three,
you
maybe
include
three.
an extra die if she has a status of 4 or higher?
I
For
think that's
the
only
bonus.
if I use
Persuasion.
I think is it just persuasion or if I use a skill in persuasion?
I think it's just persuasion.
Oh, it's all persuasion tests if she's a status 4 or higher, so that is correct.
She is.
But it's a bonus. It's only a bonus die, so it's only with like a sub skill. It's not just. It's
Yeah.
not like.
I mean, again, you
flat
got
die.
3 degrees of success. I think it's okay.
We need to
Okay.
make it higher.
Smash
my
grams.
Listen, my mother is a wall, so.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been there.
So, however, for the first time, Vivian, you have noticed your mother's hair looks different. Normally, it's that kind of like strawberry blonde.
Mhm.
Most of her hair is entirely gray now. Like all of its color is gone, and and you're just sort of staring because you always thought your mother had beautiful hair, but she never showed it because she's like. It's like she had this weird idea about it. But now she's showing it and it's gray and like doesn't lost like its luster. And as you're staring at her, like, Mother, what did you want to say? And as she looks up at you, you suddenly notice like her rather plump jowls are saggier than you remember. She seems to have aged quite significantly in the past few years that you haven't seen her.
Mothers are immortal. Everyone knows that.
But she looks old. Last time, kind of like you remembered your father looking old last time you saw him, and now your mother looks kind of old. And she just goes, and she looks at you and goes, well, I just feel there are a lot of things unsaid between us. And kind of looks at the table and people are setting and goes, well, people are waiting for you. I don't want to take up your time.
I'm the lady of this house. People can make time for me.
She smiles at that, like, and it's just like, I just wanted to say that it seems you've made a better mother than I.
You got there. Fuck. I can honestly say that the woman I am, the mother that I am, would not be without you.
They go, well, the gods probably just work through us. We are divine women. And Yeah, she gives you like a second hug, which the first was weird. So the second is, yeah.
I'll hug her back. This is, ugh.
And you do feel when you hug her, there's like a tremble in her. She feels not thinner, but almost like softer, like weaker.
Yeah, I think when we break apart the hug, it's just like, I think I should have gotten more lessons on how absolutely stubborn daughters can be.
Well, you did look in a mirror enough.
The only woman I know I do not have a retort for.
like, well, that's how it'll always be. The girl, and she just like hikes her dress up a bit, and the Anne goes, well, now organize your feast, and just goes and sits down next to you. See your father, who just smiles up at you.
I kiss his forehead because it's just a wrinkly old man.
Yep. Yeah, you notice he's got sat like in the seat with him. You see a cane.
This is so weird. They were like fucking titans in my brain, and now they're old people.
Braille.
Time waits for no man.
Yeah, I'll go back to my side beside Tidrick. Definitely confused, but like, I guess, I don't know. When you finally learn that last lesson of your strict parents, doesn't forgive everything they did to you, but you kind of understand. It's like, oh, okay. Was I? No, I wasn't the problem.
When you realize your parents are people.
Yeah.
Fallible old people.
Soft old people.
It's true. Yeah. You see, they are not the only elderly folk at the table. You see a very like very much more elderly man. He's bald, but has like sort of that ring of hair, stringy white hair that kind of comes down. He's very
Friar Tuck.
He's very thin, dressed well in orange, and the woman, you got a woman next to him. She's quite tall, but also quite like plump. Her eyes are very like faded. These two look quite old. And you just hear the like woman as people begin to settle in before like Tidrick fully announces it. And the woman is just like, is this the feasting hall? And like one of the Ashfords, you see Ashfell kind of like lean around. Sat next to him is a rather comely woman with kind of red hair, similar to Clarissa's and Catalina. You believe that's probably his wife, Ashfell's wife. And he kind of leans around and he goes, "Yes, grandmother, we are sat like we are sat at the table. The feast is about to gun. Oh, good! I can't wait for for my lovely daughter to get married. You know, she's been on for so long." He goes, "No, grandmother, this is Ashella's." Then goes, "Ashella? She's only 3. Why is she getting married?" Goes, no, grandmother, she's nearly 19. Why did she wait so long? And she's just like,
poor Ashlyn. Ashlyn just monitoring the grandparents.
Yeah.
There's no winning for Ashella.
Like, what didn't like it's like Ashella, and that's not Ashelica? Like, no, that's not Ashelica, because she died. And just like goes, no, grandmother, Ashelica didn't die. Well, someone died. I know someone died. Your husband died. Oh, yes, that's right. Just like stops talking. Ashlyn like looks up.
It's there smacking her old lady gums.
Oh yeah. Ashlyn's just trying to like keep her calm and in the moment. Yeah, so people are sat. Henric, you come and sit down. A bit of ways, still on your side of the table, Walton sits, as you have declared him your second.
Yeah.
So that is a so that's the thing. And Henric, yeah, you are directly across from you. You see Ashella. She is sat there.
Right.
Yeah. Mariella, you are essentially across from Lady Ashford. Uh-huh.
Wine
Yep.
mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orange peel woman, yeah.
Orange.
Oh,
Thank you. Orange peel mom. Thank you.
Yeah,
Knew it was
that's the-
something.
No, they all got weird stuff. No, your mom is wine mom.
Thank you. Yes. Dare I confuse the two?
Arbor gold, please.
Yeah. Cedric, you do notice like Thorsten isn't here, which you think is a little strange. However, the gong sounded quite a bit ago, and everyone seems like to be settled in, and you kind of have to like welcome the feast in and sort of talk about what's going to go on. You have to announce like the wedding hunt tomorrow, and
Could I send like Kyle out to go find someone to go find Thorsten?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kyle's like right next to you. He can
Kyle, I need you to go find someone to go look for my brother Thorsten.
right away, my lord. And he like pours you your fresh goblet, places it down, and then silently, without hurrying or drawing attention, walks out.
Kyle,
He
secret
is getting
undercover
good
mom.
at that.
Yep. Kyle's
He's got skill.
he's becoming he's like a preteen now.
Yeah. This whole story has just been the evolution of Kyle. Like
But-
how
well,
he
he
realized
start-
we're
we started
just
when he
we're
was
just in the
10.
background.
We started when he was 10, so it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Like
He was
Yeah.
like 5.
now, yeah. Look at that boy. Yeah.
Listen, he was a small boy. He was 10, but he was quite short for his age.
Quite short for a stormtrooper.
Indeed. But yeah, so Kyle will go out, but it is sort of the time to start, Tedric. So
I will stand up,
Mhm.
grab like one of the utensils and
Yeah.
tap it against my cup or whatever, my mug,
your
my
goblet.
goblet.
Yeah.
Go
Oh
for
yeah, yeah. You tap up. Everyone sort of begins to like come. Actually, why don't give me a status roll to see how quiet and how fast and quiet it gets.
Okay.
Do you have anything? Do you have anything specialties is in the?
Stewardship is all.
You know what? Roll. Yeah. Let's roll stewardship.
Stewardship. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that my
The room.
husband.
Damn. The room shut the fuck up, man.
Great fixes.
When
So,
you
Tedric,
got a status of
Like
six
I
and 4
begin to
bonus.
stand up and everybody just drops.
Yeah, so what happens? You stand up before you grab a utensil, you just like go, and then when the moment you go, everyone goes, and like turns and looks up. Hilarious enough, one of the fastest who did it sat on the opposite side from you, facing you, Lord Tyrell. He was very much like, oh.
Yes.
Lord Tyrell is your best friend.
You gave him mad props earlier, so
Oh,
yeah.
You're
yeah.
definitely his best friend for sure.
It's true. He is. Yeah, and Tita,
Alright.
you are currently commanding the attention of basically most of the most powerful people within several different countries.
Everyone, I would like to welcome you to this marvelous feast of Lord Henric Weirlight's wedding day.
You hear a small applause. whenever you begin to speak again, they stop.
This has been a long day coming and a long-awaited day. One I was not sure I would get to see because of all the battles I have partaken in, but it seems as though I was graced by the 7 to make it.
Lots of nodding.
Indeed. Praise be, praise be.
Yeah, you definitely see Lord Tarley like, yeah.
Your mother-in-law dabbing an eye. You mentioned the 7.
Oh,
I know I have my pendant of the 7 present.
Oh,
Every
oh,
time
she
the in-laws
noticed.
are here.
Yeah. Let us be merry and have a wonderful celebration.
You hear lots of cheering and
Let the feast begin.
yeah, oh yeah, lots of cheering. You hear like, why? You hear some folk just go like, yeah, Henric, and just.
And I will bow off to my son.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, yeah. So you sit down, and yeah, don't worry, Henric, you don't have to make a speech yet.
thank God. Okay.
Yet. But yeah,
Fair.
the feasting begins. When I say hundreds, I do in fact mean hundreds of servants pour out and begin just placing things down. There were already things on the table, but now more options are being brought out, like specialty options and strange things. You notice that the sort of unique spiced meats Nymora kind of had prepared. A lot of people who are not from Dorne, interestingly enough, are really wanting to partake of it. But most of the Dornish people are like, it's okay. like it's okay. I think I'd rather have you have these things, these birds drowned in bourbon. I want those.
Yes.
You got a chicken
appreciate the
stuffed inside a
sentiment.
duck inside a goose, so what?
Yep. So there are greens and fruits and all kinds of things. It's very impressive due to the connections of Wormwood. Some pineapples are brought out for people, and lots of people are shitting themselves. They're like, a fruit like that, like a yellow fruit. Everyone's like astounded.
Not a lemon? Whoa.
Yeah, no, everyone's astounded that pineapples, there is pineapples here. In fact, every table gets a slice of pineapple.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Mhm.
Did not spare a
oh
single
my gosh.
expense.
Yeah, you do notice Wormwood is not seated like at his seat. He's like standing and like doing weird things with his hand, tugging. It's almost like he's conducting like the thing, and he's just staring out over it so seriously, but also sort of enraptured in his own like work.
We have to hire him again. Absolutely.
And
Okay.
you can notice, I think Tidric, I think the only people who notice this would probably be Mariella and Tidric, of those who are here. You notice that the servants, the way they're moving and placing, it's like a rehearsed dance. Like maybe Wormwood literally rehearsed with them in what wave and how they come out to make it seamless. And it is seamless. No one seems to notice or worry or have any trouble. None of the servants are running into one another, which is the main problem, because that happens all the time in feasts. People like bringing wine, people crash into each other constantly. You don't want to spill wine on the wrong guy, you know. But the feast seems to be kicking out without a hitch. Wormwood is very good at directing everyone. So while that was going up, Henric, you're kind of sat there. Vivian and Tidric, Henric looks so much better after his nap.
Oh, thank God.
He looks fantastic. There's color back in his face. He seems like he just looks stronger, and it seems like it was exactly what Thorsten said. He just needed rest, and he looks fantastic.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so the family, the Weirlight family, the ones who are here, any person at the table you want to talk to, anything you want to say, Henric Ashella is right across from you, your bride to be.
Yeah. I know I only got to see her for like a minute after the whole sleep blood ritual, and then me just doing other shit for the wedding. But
what blood ritual?
Yeah, no blood. I don't know. It was weird, just weird dream I had. It's probably nothing. But I would like to ask her, like, most was like how her day was and everything. Like, did she like enjoy? Has she been enjoying like everything? Like, Henric is like legitimately like excited and wants to ask her about like these things and like wants to hear what she has to say.
Yeah. Do you think that's kind of obvious how like earnest you are?
Yes.
You say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I see your message, Jesse. Yes. No, I'll yeah, it's behind like the big thing, and there are some servants waiting. Yeah, you're good.
Oh boy.
So you ask Ashella those things. Ashella, which she, again, like I said, it looks radiant today. Like nothing can get her down. And she goes,
the first thing I comment on, by the way. Again, I think I've said it a few times, but I gotta say it again. She looks beautiful.
Yeah. I go, well, I'm glad. I think, well, I'm glad my husband to be thinks so. Yes, I have enjoyed myself quite thoroughly. Your sister and our friends have seen to that. The grounds and the fair, I will say, look fantastic. Though I was quite doubtful when I heard 3 men would be pounding my wedding. It seems grand. And when she says grand, it's very like it's very like she's really into the fact of how fucking like bitchin' and expensive everything looks.
Yeah. Know what I'm worth, okay?
Yes, and Ashlyn just kind of gives her and you like a slight nod. As you and Ashlyn sort of have an understanding. She goes, yes, I've had quite time, and I was just I'm so glad to see you're fine. I want to thank you again for saving my silly little brother. And you see Lady Ashford goes, what? Sorry, what happened? He goes, oh, mother, did you hear Ashton started trying to mount quite a dangerous horse and nearly got squashed, but Henric, my Lord Henric, saved him and quieted the horse. Like, and she stares at you, goes, did you save my baby boy? Like, Henric.
He just needed some help and a hand with the animals. It was nothing. My brother and my younger brother Garrick and a lot of my siblings horse riding. It was nothing.
Yes, well, it seems. Then it seems like you're already doing your duty as a husband protecting both families. Excellently done, Henric. Excellent. And when he says excellently done, and then when he says excellently you've done, Henric, excellently done, he just like will look at Tedric as if like obviously he did that because you're his father and you've raised him right.
We know where he got it from. Like,
yeah, children have no independent thought.
No.
Not until their father dies, and then they become the father.
That's how things work.
They just absorb the father's essence, and the line continues.
Indeed. Yes, but Lady Ashford is like, oh, I'm so glad you were there, Ashton, my little. And she just stands up and just like starts moving Ashton, and Ashton is like, mother, no, stop. And she just starts like kissing him on the forehead, like, you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? Of like what beastly horse started doing? Like, fine. Henric saved me. It was fine. He just, it was, nothing happened. I'm fine. Like, okay, but you would tell me, right? You would tell me, right? And just like gripping him. And she goes, like, yes, mother. I the seven. Just like goes, good. Oh, I feel faint. And when she says, "Oh, I feel faint," suddenly emerging from the side is a female servant, her hair tied back in a bun, obviously wearing like the Weirlight tabard, coming out with a silver platter of freshly sliced oranges.
Good.
And she goes, "Oh, perfect." And then she just like squeezes them onto her face. And she goes, "Oh, so good." And then that servant comes up with a napkin and begins to like rub them into her cheeks.
What the fuck?
Orton did research.
That direct vitamin C.
Surely that is how vitamin C works.
Yup.
Just pour it right into your eyeballs.
Yep. Just right in there.
God.
Just
Right.
And then she goes, sits down and goes, "Oh, how refreshing and good feeling to be taken care of." Now where is Ashella?
Is she not here?
Look around.
Yeah, she's not here.
Oh,
Called it.
okay. Well, I'm sure we can find someone to fetch her. We have lovely gardens that I'm sure someone can easily get. The hours can pass by, and then I'll just like snap my fingers for someone to go.
She goes, perhaps her husband finally arrived, and maybe they're reconnecting. That would be good. He goes, yes, that would be good if he ever showed up anyway. He goes, no, he's perfect. He's excellent. Of course, he shows up when he needs to, and he's just busy. And he just like turns and looks at her and goes, yes, that is why Ashella lives at home.
When was the last time anyone has seen Ashellika's lovely husband?
Oh, I saw him at the wedding.
But do I know who she's
All
married to, Tony? I don't think I have it. I don't have it anywhere in my notes at all.
Nope. In fact, no one's asked, and yeah, you don't know actually who she's married to.
Then I'll ask. It's like,
I do.
Curse my feeble memory. Could you remind me who Ashellika is married to?
Mariella, if you want to pop up.
Yeah. He is the second son that's got Black Crown. It's like Bull. Hold on, I've got notes. It's going through notes. I can't keep going with that tune because it's totally copyrighted. I'm sorry. For some reason, I want to say like Bulwark. I know like Bull is in the name. Frack. Can I do like a status reading for Aaron to remember what it is?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, it would be a cunning memory test.
Awesome, great.
Because I have in my notes that they told us that he lives at the castle with him, but there's something like he doesn't live there.
He goes like back and forth. Like he's like,
because he has like his own castle and his own land and everything. Just
He does.
lives at home with her parents.
the implication that I got is that he
16.
spends like 80% of his time on the road because he's like going back
That's
and
the
forth.
same
between-
thing I got,
Tony,
too.
1-6.
1-6?
1-6.
Okay, 1 second.
Because I know that his older brother is, I'm not sure if he is the heir or the lord, and he has children. So it's like this dude is not inheriting Black Crown. I know it starts with a B. I want to say it starts with a bull.
Yeah, it's House Bulwer.
I was so close.
Yeah, no, and their symbol is a red field with a bull skull.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so House Bulwer is a the castle of Black Crown.
I'm
Uh,
assuming Henric is between me and my mother in this lineup. It's like, do you
Yeah.
have us by age?
I'm the go-between, so Rella's
Because
listens
I'm
to
assuming
me. I
Henrik
whisper
would
to
be
my
further
mother.
up because like he is the one getting married. Otherwise,
It's like Tedric, Vivian, Henrik, Mariella. I assume.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
yeah. So I would probably feed that to Vivian like moderately
Yeah,
quietly.
you know he's of House Bulwer. Yeah, so the Lord Ashford will just he'd say like goes, "Oh, yes. Well, yes, he's it's a bit tricky that the line of succession there. You see, the current head of House Bulwer is his mother, Lady Allison. Uh, guess how they spell Allison, by the way.
Is there a weird I in it? Or
No, there's no
A-L-
eyes.
About a Y.
ALYSSEN.
Hold
Nope,
on, he's typing.
incorrect. That.
All right. All right.
Elise Ann. Okay, right.
Yep,
Mhm.
Allison.
Fine. Fine.
No, see,
Sure.
Fancy.
no,
fancy spelling.
she inherited it from her father, Lord John, who died of summer fever. And Lady Allison's mother is Victoria Tyrell, who's a cousin of Lord Mace's. But the thing is, Lady Allison is not mother is Lord Bulwer's older sister. Even though he's the second son, unfortunately, Lord John, his the line of succession sort of got mixed. You see, he died of summer fever, and a symptom of summer fever, I'm sure, as you all know, is madness. So things got a little crossed. I don't think I'm exactly sure of the situation. Darling, do you know any more? He goes, no, I don't. I believe you've said it correctly, my dear. It is a little jumbled, honestly. I don't know why he's the heir, but his eldest sister is the current head. It's quite unusual. I would think, as he's male, that he would inherit it, but I know they had an older brother. What was his name?
Can we have her husband's name? Because that's what I was asking.
His first name specifically. Does anyone have his first name?
You didn't
that's why
give
I-
it. I don't
That's
think.
why I asked them.
Okay,
It's why
It's
I did
true.
a 16.
I have. It's true. I have never given his first name. One exact moment. I just wanted to make sure I've never given his name.
No, not yet.
Because I very much in my mind did that on purpose. Nope. There we go. Let's see here. Yes. Her husband's name. I believe his name is Ormond. Didn't really interact with me much. Like, I interacted with him a bit, but it was a good match. Yes. But yeah. So what you know? If anyone wants to, unless you wrote it down, does anyone know anything about House Bulwer besides the weird line of succession they had?
You had said that they have Black Crown, which is a tower at the mouth of the Whispering Sound, which mirrors with the three towers. It's got the jumbled weird history.
Yep.
I don't think we really touched on much else, unless anybody else has other notes stuff.
No, I have exactly what you have. There wasn't anything given or written down. So
It's very true.
I have that he lives at their castle, but apparently that was a lie. That he doesn't actually live there if they don't see him ever.
It does seem like he doesn't really stay there much.
Mm-hmm.
Seemingly.
People are so unreliable. Yeah, is there anything that we can roll to, aside from their crazy history, to...
Yeah, I think
threaten
since Mariella has already done it, yeah, Vivian, you can, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I did cunning to recall shit, but
Yes, no, I mean before.
Yeah, is it still cunning or is it...
No, this for you, this would be
breeding.
Breeding, this would be status
Okay.
breeding because you were just like, so what is it about this house?
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we
Because
go.
they are a reach house. It's really good.
Okay.
You guys are really good. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, so yeah, you know, House Bulwark, now that you like really thinking about it, the first daughter of the Ashfords marrying some second son from House Bulwer, which I will tell you, it's a minor house in the Reach. That's weird. It's a very weird thing that happened, and especially since she doesn't live there, and now that makes sense because you're thinking about Black Crown, and Black Crown, while it is a massive tower, is a tower. Like
that's it.
it's not that super nice, Black Crown. It's not the best.
It's not like the city of Ashford.
No.
Okay. I'll wait till you're done giving me the information before I ask my questions.
Yeah. So basically, so Black Crown, actually, sorry, I kind of messed up. Black Crown is a rather large castle, and they own the three towers, which is the three towers that guard sort of the river, the Mander, and it's an impressive area. They hold a lot of defense. There is a lot of like, obviously they do benefit from a lot, but they are really a minor house. The Bulwers are very rarely involved with politics, and with the 22, you actually you heard about what happened to the first son of House Bulwer. He's in the Night's Watch.
Do we know his crime? Or did he volunteer?
So with 3 successes, I'm gonna say the story is that he volunteered, which was confusing because he had like a wife and children. But there was a lot of strangeness about that case. Like a magister, which are sort of these kind of wandering people who sort of enforce the law. They often come from Highgarden. This is mostly a Reach thing. A magister did show up to Black Crown. Something happened. With that much, you're pretty sure someone covered something up.
Okay.
But the story is, his name was Jack, that he did volunteer. And for any of you at home, this is in fact from the book Blackjack. From
Ooh.
First Ranger.
The First Ranger
Holy
Blackjack.
shit. Very cool.
And yeah, it was said that he volunteered, but there was something odd about that.
Okay.
And no one had really heard. You've known he had a second brother, but a younger brother, but you really never really knew his name. Like, just nothing. There was absolutely nothing prominent or interesting that ever came out of him
until this moment. Yeah. Okay.
Until this moment, we're like,
right.
Oh, did he marry Ashella? And you're like, you remember going? Here's the thing: you went to that wedding, but the man just really didn't leave an impression on you.
Okay. Yeah. Could I?
He was
There's
barely
no-
at the party. He showed up for the
Okay.
vows, but that was kind of it.
Okay, so with my breed, just if I could carry it over, is there
Sure.
anything that the Bulwers could have had that Ashford would have wanted? Because after Tedric telling me that he got that negotiation with Lord Ashford, it seems like Lord Ashford is still, while he loves his daughters, still likes to milk that shit.
He does. Yeah.
Is there anything that the Bulwers could have had with my breeding
Well-
role that they could have negotiated with that he would give his first daughter for?
You know, this is a really good point.
Or if I need to make another roll.
So
also
this would
fine.
be a stewardship role to sort of understand how a land is run.
Right.
You are right next to your husband.
Yeah.
You are right next to your husband.
Yeah.
So if you want to lean over and go, like, you just be like, honey, I'm a little
Honey.
confused about something, and just
Yeah, no, 100%.
ask the advice of your husband, who is actually quite good at running lands.
He's superb at running land, so yeah, I'm gonna lean over because I know nothing according of trade.
Yeah, the
I
only
just know
people
how
you
to-
would know the answer of this would be either Clarissa or Tedric.
Yeah, I know how to put a price tag on it. I know nothing of how to get it. So, yeah, I'll lean over to Tedric and ask him, like, beloved, is there anything that Lord Ashford would have traded with the Bulwarks for his first daughter? And I'll just give him all the information that I have, just so he's like in the loop.
Yeah, absolutely. Tedric, if you want to give me a status stewardship test to sort of determine what possibly
Disgusting.
they could gain. Oh, that's a 27. Dope. That's
That's my hub.
three.
man.
That's
That
three
looks a little
degrees.
sus.
That's 3 degrees of success. The TN was 17.
Oh.
That looks a little
Yeah.
sus.
ITN.
Fuck.
There's
all right.
there's too many 3s and 2s.
You know, I sometimes I'm like, I said a TN, and I'm like, fuck yeah, and then it happens. I'm like, oh, why did Tony stop? Why do you have to be fair, Tony? Why do you have to be fair?
Just throw us in more situations we know nothing about. Like
Honestly, we just have very specific strong suits.
Very
We're
well
just
do.
hitting a couple of them.
I love you all. Yeah,
Well, that's
Tedric,
just it. We tend to cover.
Tedric,
generally almost
so
everything.
you're thinking about something, and you're like, wait a minute. Trade on the Mander has sort of slowed down a lot recently. And now that you think about it, you used to deliver poppies through the Mander up to the rest of the that kind of led up to the rest of King's Landing and a lot of other, and then they distributed it. You'd also move it all. You'd also, of course, by land, you'd move it to by sea, you would move it to Old Town, and then they would, and then you would often send either stuff all the way up through into the Mander and up, just because it was often safer. River bandits are incredibly rare, due to the fact that learning how to swim is very difficult for a lot of people in this age. Especially in the Reach. But you do remember the tariffs on the river went up actually like kind of unreasonably, and you of course made you and Clarissa brought it. You remember Clarissa bringing that to your attention, and just being like, well, we could just use the roadways more. I mean, the Rose Road, and the Ashfords control most of the trade there, but because you never really liked how the Ashfords did trade, because you always felt they were maybe overcharging you because of how profitable you were.
Yeah.
So you always used the Mander, but then the tariffs on the Mander went up. It was stated because of the Greyjoy rebellion, because they tried to sail up the Mander, and so like things were brought on. It was to like recoup losses by those who guarded the river, and you were like, oh well, that makes sense. And you just kind of stopped trading up the river and started trading up the Waymore, and now you're starting to think, the 3 biggest hubs connected through the Mander are all guarded by the Bulwers,
who are now married to the Ashfords. So interesting.
So it sounds like to you that the Bulwers and the Ashfords essentially made a deal to completely shift trade, basically nearly 100% back over to the roadways, which would make the Bulwers lose intense profits, but they would get to marry an Ashford, which is the only benefit you can possibly think for them, which would be big because normally a Bulwer would probably never marry an Ashford. Unless it was they also happen to be like a third cousin of the Tyrells.
Which is why Hightower wanted to marry his daughter to us so they could fuck Henric.
It
comes
to life.
I love you.
Oh,
I love you so much. That came out me very viscerally.
I'm so
I love
sorry,
you
Mom.
entirely.
Go ahead. Continue the thought. Tell it to the class.
Yes. So Tijik, that all dawns on you, and which you can tell your wife.
So, remember a few years back when we were trading up through the river?
I do.
And
Vivian,
then
you're
we
like,
stopped.
Sure.
Of course.
Well, it was because the tariffs on the river went rather higher than the ones on the road. The only people that would be up the river would be the Bulwers. And the only thing I could think of is that they would trade and lose out on money to marry an Ashford. So that the Ashfords would get more money by everything going through their roads.
And now they've married into our family. Well, they must be planning something big if they need that much money going in. Constantly.
What, are you talking about the Ashfords?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Bulwers aren't getting any money out of it.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the Ashford specifically.
Obviously they got a good amount of money from the dowry, but...
That's very true, but like greed is one thing, but this is
something else.
This is something else.
Right. Well, now that we're family, perhaps Lord Ashford will be more forthcoming with his plans with you, Tijik.
Yeah, I mean, Tijik, you do recall, basically, you now have to pay basically nothing moving your poppy. You basically have full access to the roads in exchange that they get a little bit of essentially the profit of the poppies, which ultimately you lose. Essentially, in the long run, they're going to gain more money, but you at the same time will actually also gain more money. This is what we call a monopoly.
Yeah. That would explain why Hightower was so upset when the announcement went out, but we had a problem to fix.
And Vivian, you are now also realizing that if you had merged with the Hightowers, you essentially could have kind of helped hijack that monopoly back through the river. And also through other ways. Also, you also realize if you had joined with the Red Wines, then you could have just done it purely by boat, and the same thing would have happened, and the Ashfords would have lost a ton of money. As would the Hightowers.
Turns out that it just all comes back down to capitalism, guys. Well,
listen, when you're in the Reach, absolutely.
Even in Westeros, are we not safe?
Fuck no. But this time you're the 1%.
Yes,
now we are the capitalists.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I already have plans for Garrick. Eric is too young, and no one else has any sons in the Reach.
However, Vivian, you do know from what Tijik told you about the trade deal, while you did miss the opportunity to just probably grab more unique power, if the Ashford's already building up to something and now you are kind of fully linked to them, and Lord Ashford is already making trade deals that apparently Tijik definitely kind of bamboozled him on, it seems like I'm just going to tell you that if they're planning something, it's probably going to benefit you.
Okay. I just don't like being out of the loop.
It's true. Now you can try to talk with one of the Ashfords
Well,
about it.
that woman knows nothing but orange peels.
Probably, yeah.
And I trust Tedric. He seems to handle himself pretty well with Lord Ashford. So unless
You would say
Tedric needs,
so.
unless Tedric needs my help on that, I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'll
Yeah.
let my husband handle that.
Yeah, I mean, Tedric, you definitely know that the Ashford tried to kind of get you into a shittier deal where he would kind of directly profit more than you would, but you definitely turn the tables on him.
Oh yeah.
By applying to not his sense of capitalism, but his sense of Reachman's honor,
Yes.
which he needs to maintain.
Also, the fact that
Parental-
Ashella has him wrapped around her pinky.
That too.
All right.
Yes, Ashella is now part of all of our
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, you literally were just like, you realize that means your daughter's house would not be profiting. And he was like, my better girl. Like,
Well, it
and
all
you-
works out.
And I will say, it does clearly show that Ashella is like Lord
His-
Ashford's favorite.
Gotcha.
It
Well,
is quite clear.
yeah. It all works out in the end, and I honestly get the prettiest grandbaby. So we're
True.
good.
But Vivian, your scheming brain is now realizing, like, holy crap! Now with this, if you had been armed with this knowledge, you probably could have taken over the Reach.
Yeah, I'm a little mad about it.
I mean, we're gonna get there
And-
still.
Yeah, I don't have enough.
It's just gonna
We
take
just have to keep
longer.
having
It's just
kids,
gonna take
that's all.
longer. Yeah, it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just gonna take longer. That's all it means.
I need
How-
more spies.
Listen, if you give Orton more money.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Done.
Here's a sack of gold dragons.
Yeah, so schemes and plots being revealed, you now know the name of Ashellika's husband is Ormond. Which is kind of a weird name for a Reachman. Reachmen have don't really have names that sound like that. But there it is. I know it's hard to tell because every name in this world is ridiculous to some degree. But I will say, for cultural reasons, the name Ormond is weird for a Reachman.
Okay. Anything we can roll to see where its origin is? Do you have a I do. Well, it's
It
not
would
really
be-
a specialty.
It would be
but
language.
I have that in Westerosi.
Yeah,
I
that would apply here. Yeah, it is
Okay.
a Westerosi name.
Okay, so a 20.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ormond is a name you would probably hear more closer to either the Riverlands, or culturally speaking, it sounds kind of Pike'ish. Like people from Pike. In fact, on the list of dead in the Greyjoy Rebellion, and Tedric know this, there was like a lot of Ormonds.
Interesting. We've had a lot of troubles with pikemen.
Yeah, Ironborn have been your
Every
troubles a
other
lot.
boy was named
Yeah.
Ormond.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We've had issues with pikemen both around the vultures, both in the vultures because they were kind of sneaking into his like storage and stuff. In the Riverlands, they're having problems because there was someone from the Iron Islands dealing with their shit. No, it's too. I don't know. No, I don't know yet. I don't know enough. I'll be quiet.
Orton also would have told you about the Iron Men and their plot before.
Right. Because my thing is, like, if you're going to build a monopoly, cause problems in every other trade route, right?
Mhm.
Then make yours the safest one so people come to you. But I don't know enough to make that claim, so
Sure.
ignore
And but
me.
you do remember when you in Craig Hall, you heard from your friend Clarissa's cousin's mom, older sister kind of thing.
Yeah.
That she had a problem with. Remember that seer person?
Yeah, I remember we uncovered it when we were at the
there was someone tried to assassinate Lord Craycall, and it turns out the guy who hired him was an Ironborn guy who pretended to be a mystic. Talk about magic and stuff.
I might have to talk to my Lady Cabal about this because I do not have enough information.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they're
luckily a number of them are here.
A number of them are here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
quick, turn on the bat signal, but it's the Cabal.
Just flash your pendants. And
decoder rings.
No, the fan.
Oh yeah.
Fan signals.
Perfect. Ooh, perfect. No, Jesse wins. So I think with that kind of talking, before we move on, Mariella, is there anyone you wish to talk to, get any kind of information on?
You had told me before we had ended, Garland had wanted to talk.
Yes.
Did that happen between here and the dinner?
That is an excellent question. You know what? Thank you for reminding me. I think you're sitting there, and I think we're gonna like rewind time, and you're just like
do the time warp,
and people are talking, singing. And
I'm watching this woman just eat orange rinds, and it's just like think about other things. Just think about other things.
She's crushing all of she's literally like the meat of the fruit. She's just rubbing on her skin, and then she's eating just the rind.
Yeah, I imagine she's also like once she's gotten like a good portion of it, like she's smashing it into like a napkin to get like as much of it into like her skin as possible.
Oh, well, I mean, a servant is doing that for her, but yeah, 100%.
And then feeding her the orange rice.
I am very distressed right now.
I have to sit across from this woman.
I'm not doing okay on an emotional level.
Nymora's not there. At least she doesn't need to see it.
No, this is me.
I know.
This is me, Heather.
Yeah, I will say, Mariella, most of her children look like they are like Ashton and Ashland are both.
They've been desensitized to this.
No, they're like mother.
Okay,
not looking at her.
No, like I feel
at
like,
home, sure, but not here.
Yeah,
not in front of everyone.
I feel like during the wedding preparation and everything like that, with like Henric running around and Mariella basically, it's like, oh here, you deal with this, and like I'm gonna go run around doing. I feel like her and Ashland have like some sort of like camaraderie of like, oh, I sympathize. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Ashland will definitely like.
I'm sorry.
Give you a look, but we will move backward in time to Garland. And we see like your beautiful topiary garden, which has been mostly cleared out as the gong, the first the preparation gong, right? Before, because it's the prep gong and then there's the food gong.
The get
right?
dressed gong. Get there.
Yeah, exactly. So the prep gong has rung, so a lot of people are beginning to leave. However, you and Garland enter the topiary, and he sort of walks with you a bit, and he just says, first he just kind of comments like, this really is a lovely place. The maze gardens back at home are often taller. You can't see much, but here it's you can see a good amount. And he's just like kind of walking and just comments on that, and goes, the Lady Mariella. And just like he wants to be, give you respect. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But it did quite seem there that you he looks like he wants to like just say a bunch of things, but is like, how do
Mhm.
I do this? And then he'll just like, would you mind if we sit? And just like gestures to like a gorgeous marble bench. Like,
Of course.
so yeah, you both sit, slighted and to look at each other, and he goes, well, and then he stands up, like, and then like walks a few feet away, and then like we'll turn around and then kind of look at you sitting there and go, I would just like to say that I'm sorry, I must sound an utter mess. I think beautiful and honeyed words have yet to fully root themselves within my my mind, let alone my tongue. But I would like to say that you have captured my attention, my my everything. I find myself most days thinking on you, of what you're doing, if you're comfortable, if you've eaten enough, and I've never claimed to be a clever man. My brother is plenty clever for any man in the Reach. However, I have claimed to be an honest one, and it does seem as you are, of course, the weight of your attentions means much to the Reach. But it did seem like just then that perhaps I have captured your attention as well.
Almost from the start, you've been a temptation to me that I have been very hesitant to reach for. I've always been told how rare my parents' relationship is. And I see a glimmer of that potential with you, and it scares me.
Yeah, so when you say that, he kind of his shoulders drop a bit in like dropping his guard, and he goes, I fully admit I had heard tales of your intelligence and beauty, and when I first met you all those years ago, I was stunned at how lacking the tales were. I have been fond of you for so long, and I never knew if it was right as a Tyrell to listen to my heart. But now, I know that if I am to be the man I want to be, my father plays at chivalry, and is obsessed with the idea of it, but I wish to make it reality. Which means I have to be a man of honesty, which means I have to, and withholding words is tantamount to a lie, and I will not lie to you ever, Mariella. And he kind of like just comes to sit down next to you. Actually, more kneel in front of you, and just goes, my heart is yours, and I wish to... I mean, I feel we have been tantamount to courting, so I know what my heart wants, and it wants you.
Yeah, I feel like it started like with the kneeling. It's like hesitant smile, and like it turns into like a smile that's probably the most open that he's seen, kind of a thing. And like hands are like kind of clenched and like kind of gripping her skirt, kind of a thing,
Yeah.
because she knows like cannot initiate physical contact, anything like that. It's like propriety and rules and like.
But she's very much freaking out on the inside.
Absolutely, yes. But yeah, like the most open, honest reaction of like.
And he goes, he you know, you're gripping your things. He puts his hands into yours and grips them, and your hands are touching.
Oh, skin contact.
Skin contact. Yeah, and he just goes, I love your words. I love your minds. I love the way you see everything, and I do love the way you speak to me. I would hear you speak forever. I could comment on your utter beauty, your perfect hair, your eyes like pools of eternal wisdom, but but I feel that means nothing to how I feel about your soul, and I want to share my life with you.
I want to do.
He just goes, please tell me you feel the same.
I think it's just like a real, honest, simple yes.
Yeah, just yes.
And it's like there's no hesitation like after the question. It's just yes.
Yeah. Cool. He kisses you.
Serena's going bonkers.
Squeak. Yeah.
Yeah.
He leans over and kisses you.
I heard that.
Right.
Viscerally.
Yeah. So he kisses you, and when he kisses you, he pulls you fully up, against him.
So he stands and he kind of. Okay.
He pulls you up, holding like your left hand like this, and placing his right hand at the small of your back. And he kisses you, and yeah, there's no like lust right in the kiss. It's not like a I want your body kiss.
It's not over a Martel.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The kiss is very earnest and happy, and it seems to just I mean it's a pretty great kiss, and you feel that this person holding you sees you and loves you. So that's fun. And he goes, and after the kiss, he will say to you, unless you say something first.
I think she's blushing and like probably has this like dazed look on her face, kind of a thing.
Sure, yeah. And he goes, we should not announce our engagement at your brother's wedding. That would be incredibly rude.
I would say so.
But like know that I think of you, and I would have a dance tonight if you would give it to me.
Happily.
Yeah. So the dinner bell fully gongs, and he just like looks over and he's just like, accursed servants and they're well timed. Why can not your servants be lazy?
It's the bane of a well-run house.
And and he just goes, I know you. Well, I know we must go, but I would be lying if I said I would love to stay here and hold you more.
Hopefully, if all works as we hope, there's always the future.
He smiles. He goes, yes, the future. Yeah, and then we'll go back to you just
I
like
would want you to
dazed.
do an awareness check to see if anyone is around the topiary garden.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're good. But I will say though, Mariella, I will say just propriety wise, he proposed to you.
Yeah, no,
And
I
you
get
said
that.
yes and kissed,
Yeah.
which means that is okay. Like,
no, I know. I want to know.
I know. I 100% get you. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
please
I know that this is all like, did the steps, did the rules. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get in trouble by any of this. I just want to know.
You want to know? Absolutely, go for it, man.
Awareness. I only have empathy dice, so that's not gonna give me anything else.
Yeah.
A 15.
15. Let me
Do I
check.
see anybody?
I can tell you
Fuck.
somebody who you didn't see. Clarissa. No.
That's one. That's
Dude,
one-
she or Orton could
one-
totally sneak and
one
like.
degree- That's 1 degree of success. You're pretty sure there's someone on the other side of the hedge. You hear like a slight step and rustling. No one can. That means whoever that is can't see you
Okay.
right now.
So they
but
heard what
could-
was said.
They could have
couldn't-
heard. Yeah. That's
Awesome.
what you. So there is someone.
Cool.
You can tell
Passing.
your buff knight husband about it.
Yeah, like
Sorry, fiance. Excuse me.
fiance dude. Yeah, like if like we're holding hands or something,
Yeah.
like I'm probably like looking, like I probably stop and I'm like looking at like the bush
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
topiary or something.
Yeah, I think he'll look at it and he goes, "What is it?"
I heard something or someone.
So the moment you say that, you suddenly hear like a like someone just fucking turned and booked it. And you see Garland like look up at that and he goes, "What a cat and a villain listening." Oh, like listening in.
Yeah. If I like when leaving, it's like if I see any servants in the hall, I want to ask if they saw anybody leave the topiary.
Yeah, I will say one servant would be like, just
I know that they're all
look-
probably running around like chickens with their head cut off.
They
but
are. There's literally one
with
servant
chickens
who is
with heads cut off.
who's sweeping the topiary garden.
That one.
Yeah,
That one.
and they look up and like, what?
They're trying real hard.
That's cool.
Their eyes are like they have red bags in their eyes. They're like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
Is it
I think I probably ask if somebody is like disturbed, like just disturbed their work.
Oh, yes, a young I think a young man ran past me and he was dressed he looked like a Dornishman.
Right. Thank you. Hopefully, there isn't too much left to do. At least here, I understand.
Oh yes, well yeah, we'll have more time once it gets dark. Don't you worry, miss. Everything will be right as rain. Nothing will rain on your brother's wedding. So say me, and so I swear to the seven.
Well, hopefully you can also take some enjoyment for yourself. And like kind of like
Only when we, of course, have done our duty.
yeah,
and
no, like
rightfully to
she's got like that slight understanding, like smile and like
yeah, and
lead.
yeah. When you do that, she goes, "Oh, bless you, Lady Mariella, bless you." Yes, sir. I think so. Yeah, and so you'll go off.
I make a mental note of that servant. So then, like,
absolutely. So we cut back to you just sitting there in a bit of a daze. Just obviously thinking about you know, that the most eligible bachelor in your entire country.
One hurdle has been cleared. Another
Yes.
hurdle to go.
Well, yeah, another hurdle to go. Yeah, so excellent. Yeah, celebration goes on. However, I'm going to cut straight back to Clarissa. So we see you emerge from a hall.
Yeah,
Where are you going? What are you doing?
Great question. So I need to find this person for the prince. So I'm gonna go look. I don't know if there would be a seating chart or a guest list that would have full names on it that I could
Yeah,
see.
you know, Wormwood has one.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go fuck with Wormwood's day. I will go
Excellent.
find him.
Yeah, so you're running. I want you to make an awareness test.
Ooh, what kind?
This would be notice, I believe. However, you're going to have a -2.
All right, straight 2 or 2 die, just to be clear.
Oh no, just -2, like from the not 2 dice, like
Okay,
not
yeah.
that bad.
From the total.
Just -2 from the total.
Oh no, it's
There's the
only
one
a
in there.
Oh no, it's only a 22.
no. Oh, hang on. She has to reroll.
I
She has to
do.
reroll the 1.
We're good. Yeah, 22.
Oh no, only a 22.
Yeah, so you manage to stop in time before someone runs directly into you and get out of the way. And yeah, you see like this young Dornishman kind of skid around a corner and nearly run into you. And he stops and goes, "Oh, sorry, love," and then will run past you, then stop and turn around and then walk backwards. And yeah, you see a very attractive young man. He's got like a very healthy olive complexion. He has one gold ring in his earring in his right ear that kind of comes down that looks like a sword. The back part of his hair is cut very close, but the top is very like coiffed and shaved. Very, very attractive. There is something like familiar about him. And after a moment, this guy matches the description of the man you're looking for.
He like blinks. I'm sorry. Is your name Crispin?
He goes, "Oh, well, I didn't know I was known even in these parts. Yes, my lady, it is true. I am Crispin Sand, the bastard lover extraordinaire. Like you, mock a woman who is tired, perhaps unhappy with her current situation."
She just grabs his arm and puts him in the room. Says, "I found him," to everyone who is in there currently.
Oh, so you drag him all the way.
Yeah.
You've run quite a distance. You would have to grab
Perfect.
So you begin to drag him away. He goes, "Oh, well, a woman of few words. I can respect that." And he just it comes in, which this is Lord Henric's illegitimate cousin.
Great.
And you realize where you recognize him from. He looks like an olive-skinned Henric, essentially.
Oh boy.
Just with like a little thinner of a jaw. He's like a little his shoulders are like narrower, kind of. He's a little like thinner and taller. But other than that, he's pretty spot on, besides the short hair. But yeah,
I bring him to the room and say, "Don't freak out. It is being handled." And I will open the door and present him to the people in there.
Yeah, what? He goes, he goes, oh my god, mother, are you what is going on? And Thorsten, yeah, this young attractive man runs in who, now that you blink at him, it's like a darker skinned Henric. But weirdly enough, he kind of has a trait very similar to Nymora. One of his eyes is like beautifully blue, and the other is brown. And he looks over at you, Thorsten, and he goes, "What happened? What happened to my mother?"
She was poisoned.
She was I swear to God. And he like pulls out a knife and looks at Oberyn. And Oberyn stares at him and goes,
"He was poisoned too."
He goes, I think, of course I think you poisoned too. Perfect lie, poisons himself all the fucking time. And he goes, I admire your feistiness, boy, but just because I'm half dead doesn't mean I won't drive that blade into your cock. He goes, well, it's a big target.
We don't have time for this.
Naimora, you're like, Naimora, you are transported back to every party in Dorne you've ever been in.
This brings back so many memories.
Yeah, you're like, wow.
Considering the fact that we have a actual poisoner on the loose, then I think that we should probably focus on that instead of threatening each
Agreed.
other.
He goes,
Agreed.
he looks over, he goes, well, I definitely agree. No, Crispin, not the time. And he just like points at himself. Yes, Vivian, he would be your nephew.
Okay.
Just by marriage. Just like, what? So there's a poisoner. Who are you people? What is going on? Why? Who did any of this? Did you, Naimora, have you changed?
I think at this point I would have. Yeah,
All right, cool.
just
Never mind.
because.
Then he won't make a
just
comment.
because. No, there's just the dress is just like draped over a chair.
Sure. Yeah,
So-
absolutely. He goes, okay, please, someone explain to me. And he realizes he has a knife in his hand. He goes, someone explain to me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give him the TLDR version.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's just like, okay, so what? Why do you need? What do you need me for? What do I need to do? No one poisons my mother and doesn't get their tongue pulled out their throat.
We certainly agree, but there's very little that we know about this situation and between the prince and your mother that we can explain or even help to calm that you can. So,
Okay.
yes.
Who can you think of that would want both your mother dead and Prince Oberyn dead?
And who would use the combination of those poisons?
You're looking for someone who's
my mother is here to reconnect with this family, so please don't maybe put this off. But a lot of people
let's narrow it down. We're looking
however,
for
this
somebody.
poison combination, I mean, so I'm going to fully admit something. I know a little bit about poison. Not a ton, but enough to recognize when it's happened to someone. I just recently started getting into it for no reason, staring directly at Oberyn Martell. He goes, please, I never poisoned someone I spear. He goes, I don't believe you, you fucking viper. Every word out of your mouth is either laced with honey or poison.
I've been getting into poisons recently to spite my stepdad.
No, he's been getting into poisons recently to recognize if he's been poisoned by his stepdad. Though honestly, I'm less worried about him and more worried about his daughters. They're not here.
We're looking for someone who has knowledge of poisons and wants Prince Oberyn and Lady Camilla dead, but someone who is. It's not someone who knows Prince Oberyn well. I mean.
Oh, actually, that makes a beautiful point, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
people from everyone in Dorne knows. I mean, after Lord Ironwood and Lord Calman and Lord Asper and Lord, God, so many.
The point, please.
The point, yes. So yes, no, absolutely. He's thinking, and he's like, well, people go after my mother. If she was the. You see, Crispin seems to have dawned on something. It's clear on his face. He goes, well, can I be completely honest with you?
Yes.
I've been to every Dornish gathering that you can think of. While I don't quite consider myself a Dornishman due to the way my mother raised me, you can tell by my accent.
Like looking into a funhouse mirror.
A little bit.
This is real weird.
It's like
Henric
if Henrik
Nymora.
had your life, Nymora.
Yeah.
Real
What a
fucking
dark
weird.
thought.
But this kind of thing, I mean, again, please don't think ill of me. I wanted to make a good impression.
I'm a maester. I will not think that.
I
Are you
currently
my
have
Are you my uncle?
Oh boy,
I
we
am.
super don't have time for this.
Oh, sorry. Yes, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right, my love. This to me, it seems like whoever poisoned my absolutely beautiful and perfect mother and her horrid murdering lover, I don't think cared about them.
Mm.
I mean, this is a pretty common thing in Dawn.
Mhm.
It seems like they were poisoned to make whoever owned this castle look bad.
Yeah.
Right? I
Something-
mean,
yes.
I think that's what this is about. I don't think it's anything personal. And you hear Oberyn Martell goes, "That is the greatest insult I can possibly think of."
put my head in my hands. Just, why does this keep happening?
Okay.
You go,
are-
and Prince Oberyn Martell goes, "Jealousy. Your house has risen far too fast, far too prosperly. You're going to gain lots and lots of enemies. You should hear how some of the people talk in Dorne about skewering one or two of you, though none of them, I think, even know your names. It's quite popular. I thought maybe something could happen here, but the fact that it happened to me and the bastard didn't even care of my death. A tool in a scheme. This will not stand." And he stands up and immediately just like fucking
I'll just catch him.
Yeah, you catch him. You catch him, and he's just like, "Oh." I'm like, "Oh, glad to know I am safe in your arms." And he's just like, "Do you ever turn off, mate?"
No, Oberyn's always turned on.
Yeah. I just look at Crispin and just, you know this man.
Oh, I know him very fucking well.
Just let him be the man that he is, and let us focus on other things that we can change. For example, finding whoever poisoned
Okay,
2 people under this
all right.
roof that I've sworn to protect.
Listen, I'm at your disposal. Normally, I charge a very reasonable fee for things like this, but it's my mother, so it's, and we're family. I don't know who any of you are. All I know is my uncle is a maester.
That's
God, you're
correct.
big. Just looking over at Thorsten, like,
Yes.
and you have a beard. I don't have any facial hair. Like,
All right. Okay.
I would say something about
like-
Henrik, but I'm trying not to get off topic.
Yeah.
Seven help me. It is like
it does seem
Henrik
like Crispin
again.
is. It's very difficult to like have
You-
Crispin
Like he has
focus on one
ADD
thing.
or
Yeah,
ADHD.
he has medieval ADD for sure. Like,
Okay. So, Nymora, who else was in the room with you?
Alice. He's
Who is that?
Ashellika's guard. One of them, anyways. The other one, unfortunately, is
Right. We
But-
understand.
He is a Northman.
Right. And this is this his
Mullen, Alice Mullen. Yes.
Alice Mullen. And this necklace, you believe would it have
it-
been his? Do
he-
you recognize it?
Yeah, he was wearing it. Yes. Before I took it off.
Okay.
well, it sounds like we've got to find the cunt, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, if you've got a piece of him, I can find him.
What does that mean?
Yeah, follow me. Like,
The fuck does that mean?
anyone who can walk and leave the room, follow me. And yeah, Crispin just goes to leave.
I choose to stay with
Yeah.
both of them, just
Yeah,
as they're
I think I hold
attending.
up, I'll hold up a hand to Nymora to tell her to stay as well, because I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in this room when we leave. But I'll follow him.
All right.
All right,
I will pick Oberon up and I will put him on the bed.
Yeah. He puts on the bed, but he immediately sits back up, but he doesn't get up.
I pick him up like a bride.
Yeah, absolutely. He seems very okay with it.
Mhm. Put him back on the bed.
Yeah,
If
he's
he
still
refuses to lay down, I will put some pillows behind him so he can at least lean back and still see.
So yeah, when you do that, he looks back at you, he goes, "Thank you." And yeah, he will look up at you, Nymora, and he goes, "Do not worry. The fact that you are all trying so hard to find out about this and the effort you are putting in, I will make sure no blame from the Martells comes on to you. Well, not you specifically, but House
Weirlight.
That's the one.
Your Grace, my prince.
Hmm.
The fact that you are the second son of House Martell surely is something to be taken into consideration. But I can guarantee you that if it were any house in Dorne, then my house would go through just as much effort.
Well, that's good to know, but I don't care about any of them. I only care about me. So he just pats you on the shoulder. Yeah, well, Cursa, you are Crispin is like very quickly walking, and he's walking out towards like a lot where a lot of like the luggage was brought, kind of the servants area. And he walks directly over to what looks like this sort of erected area where like some animals are kept, and he opens it up and he whistles with both of his things, and running up is the tallest and sleekest dog that you've ever seen. It's very its coat is very odd. It's like slightly slightly like blonde, but with like these red spots all throughout it. Its face is very angular, has very, very like tall, sharp ears. And it's like striped almost. It's not as like bulky as Birch is. Birch can take a fucking man down by just like knocking into them, right? He's like a linebacker. This guy looks like he's a distance runner. Long, lean, taller though, and a much longer snout. Birch has a good snout for like clamping down on thighs, but this snout looks much longer and leaner. It's really weird because its hind legs much more remind you of like a cat's than a dog's. Even with like the way its tail is moving is much more like a dog generally just a dog tail does this, but a cat tail can kind of like do the wave. Its tail is sort of doing that. And it comes up and he just goes down and starts like patting him. And he goes, this is Gregis. Gregis can find anyone. He's a tracker.
Yes, it's mighty impressive. Have a small bit of training myself.
He goes, excellent. With animals.
Dogs specifically. Yes.
Oh well, I think we have in common.
Yeah. You and my husband as well, actually.
He goes, your husband likes them as well. Well, perhaps. It goes, well, yes, time, I think essence, all that good stuff. Yeah, so he'll tell you that Gregus is a red sandhound, which I will just say are like they're dingoes, right? They're like dingo hyena things. Like they're not generally domesticated by Dorn. They're generally shit you look at. There's packs of these things. Nymora has a story about running away from a pack of these things.
When I was dying in the desert, yes.
Yep. Yeah, they're pack hunters, but they're amazing trackers. They will track a target for weeks over the sand. So he goes, if you hand me the necklace, I can use Gregus here to find him.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like his name, Gregus.
Yeah. Are you?
Greg.
Are you all right?
Me.
Yeah.
This is an interest. I am the steward of the house currently.
Oh,
on
I've heard about you.
That's
my mum talks has heard about you too. She talks about you all the time.
I don't know how to take that. I'm going to be entirely honest.
All right.
Okay. Yes, dog tracking.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. This is good. Do you want this? This is helpful.
It's incredibly helpful. It's just the situation, not you or your dog.
Yeah, absolutely. He just kind of stares at you again, and then goes, right. And then we'll hold the necklace, if you give it to him, up to Gregus. Gregus will sniff, sniff, sniff.
Snoof, snoof.
He's getting real into it. He's making a noise. He's making like a yipping noise. He's like, it's very like thin hyena like. Yeah. Let's see here. How good are you at this? Oh, you're so good at this, aren't you?
What a good boy.
You're a good boy. Fuck, man, this animal is
Puppy playtime. Puppy playtime.
They're real scary. I guess no. This would be this is that. Oh yeah, no, you're really good at that too. I'm trying to decide whether to roll their survival tracking or their awareness smell.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say tracking for now.
Survival smell?
Survival smell.
Awareness smell seems like something to actually catch a scent, but if it's being presented to them already.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Heather.
Yeah, that does make sense.
All right, yeah, let's see it.
A 15.
15.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's a lot of ones.
They get to re-roll all ones on tracking rolls. Ooh. So that's.
I want one.
Yeah, so that is, what is that? 4d6.
Well, you have a cousin now, so
who was apparently peeping on me.
Oh shit.
So that now is a 5 and a 4. Yeah, because it.
So.
Hold on.
I bet you.
23?
Hold on. Wait a minute. What?
I do feel like Crispin peeping on you is his way of showing that he cares. I don't think he has like normal social grace.
Yeah, because it's the 2 1s, so that means the 5 and the 4.
So it'd be an additional
replaced.
4, 3. So add 7.
Yeah, so it would be another. Yeah, it would be another 7. So 22. Yeah, that is 2 degrees of success. Because this is a big place and there's lots of smells, but
might want them controlled.
Yeah. So he kind of the Gregus goes like, and then he looks at him and he goes, all right, Gregus, and then says something to him in a very language you don't know, and then the dog just fucking takes off. Yeah, so Clarissa, I will ask, where's Birch?
He's with me 100% of the time.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
That's okay. I've been assuming that, but I haven't clarified it, and I just want it clarified for the record. So he takes off. Birch immediately runs after him, and not to be one off. And then Crispin goes, "The hunt is on," and just fucking runs off like a fucking 10-year-old. And you realize he has he has the knife, but he's obviously not prepared what to do when he finds him. He's just going.
Okay.
Two
Yeah,
unleashed
let's
dogs
go.
running into potentially the big hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, so you run off after them. Hey, Nymora and Thorsten, can you both make me awareness notice checks?
Ooh.
This is on you, Thorsten. I
believe in you both.
You never know.
Mine's just a straight awareness.
Oh,
Wait.
there you go.
Hey, 17.
Mm-hmm.
Thorsten, Nymora, you completely unaware of what's about to happen.
I am talking to Oberyn.
But Thorsten, you suddenly feel like a weird breeze at your back, and you go, and you turn to see, and entering the room is a figure all wrapped up, clad in black, and basically looks at you and raises a dagger and is about to stab you. And at this point, we'll take our break.
I figured.
Is it a butter knife? Are they armed with a butter knife?
It is not a butter knife.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of babies in a trunk.
Thorsten's gonna die.
It's a very, very important question. Like, I keep a knife on me. Was I left that after?
Well, you had
You
also
have-
indicated you had your
sword.
spear.
If you changed,
Okay,
you have your
we'll get my
stuff.
sword back. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I was wrong last time. You wasn't sure, but yeah. But we'll leave it there. And so, please, we're gonna have a 15-minute break, bathroom, drinks, all that good stuff, and then come back and see how the game progresses, and let's see if Thorsten can survive.
Woo!